Hi, one and all present here. This is Amit Kumar Singh, and welcome everyone to my class where I discuss the concept related to work, energy, and power for class 10 ICCSE students. Others CBSE students also can follow this for their basic knowledge, and probably this will help them to understand their concepts on this topic. First, in this class, I'll do the theory part, and then probably from the next class, we'll do the numerical exercise ones. So probably when I talk about work, you know that work is a scalar quantity. Scalar quantities are those quantities which have magnitude but no direction. So when we talk about work, we can define work as a dot product of force into displacement. So where force and displacement are your vector quantity. So talking about work is basically it's said to be done when an object or when a body moves under the influence of force, and whenever a body moves, probably we say the work to be done, irrespective of maybe if you are exerting a force, and even then if the body does not move, we consider in those scenarios the work is not to be done. So for example, if you are trying to push a wall or if an object move in circular direction, so in circular direction, you know the displacement will be zero, so zero work will be done. So we can define work with a formula that work is equal to force into displacement of the point of application of force in the direction of work. So these is self-explanatory. You can understand by reading this, the definition of work and how work is related to force and displacement. Going further, when we talk about the formula of work, as you can see here, the work is equal to force into displacement, and probably when we talk in the form of dot product, we can define it more further, where we can use the formula work is equal to F into S cos theta. So when we say that work is equal to F into S cos theta, or we can say work is equal to F cos theta into S. So here probably because force and displacement both are vector quantity and work is a scalar quantity, so the direction in which you are putting the force and the displacement of the object, the direction in which the displacement is happening, both should be in the same direction. Okay, then only the logic of vector being makes sense. So that's the reason in such scenario, if you feel that if you're finding such kind of scenario where if you realize that the displacement is not happening in the direction of force, so you can find the component of force in the direction of displacement, or you can find the direction of displacement in the component of force. Okay, or you can find the direction of displacement probably in the direction where the force is acting on the object. So these is self-explanatory. Going further, when we talk about work, the SI unit of work is joule, and you know that work is equal to force into displacement. So I can say that 1 joule is equal to 1 Newton into 1 meter, where the CGS unit of work is erg, where 1 joule is equal to 10 to the power 7 erg. The SI unit of force is Newton, while SI unit of force is dyne, where 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. So with that, I can find the relation between joule and erg. Uh, Going further, when we talk about power is being a scalar quantity. You can define power as the work done by the time taken. We use the concept of power further on when we do current electricity. Also, we will again talk about the concept of utilization of power there. Here, when we talk about power, the SI unit of power is watt. Okay, and when we talk about power is work done by time taken. And the other formula what I can use for the power is that power is can be force into average speed. While doing the numerical, you may require this application also to be remembered by you. Fine. And going here, you can see this in the concept of power. You should know one horsepower. So where the definition of horsepower and how you can get this a relation between horsepower and what is beyond the dimension of this topic. So you need to know that one horsepower is equal to 746 watt. Okay. Now then, when we talk about work energy, they are correspondent of each other, where where I can define energy is that as the capacity of the object to do the work, that we can talk in the term of energy. So in your chapters on 7th, 8th, and 9th, you studied different forms of energy. Either it was kinetic energy or potential energy, heat energy, chemical energy. So you studied many kinds of energies, their interconversion. You know that law of conservation of energy, that the either energy is neither created nor destroyed, it only change its form. So the SI unit of energy and work, both there the SI unit is joule. You can use another units of energy like calorie, where 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joule. You can use watt hour or kilowatt hour, where 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joule. And further on, you can also define energy in the term of electron volt, where 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, which is basically the charge on an electron. So when we do current electricity, there we try to understand what is coulomb, what is charge, what is the relation between the current flowing in the circuit with respect to the charge flowing. So the when we talk about charge of electron also, that is also 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb only. Okay, coulomb is the SI unit of charge. So what is charge, what is current, we'll discuss further when we do the current electricity. Right now, this much theoretical knowledge is more than enough for you to understand the concept of work, energy, and power. So I hope you have understood the basic theoretical concept. Be with me so that we can discuss numerical part of this topic in the next session. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye.